Tonight, a breakthrough that could offer new hope against one of the deadliest forms of cancer. Thanks for staying with us. It's On Your Side tonight at 7:30. I'm Jamie Bowl.
And I'm Kim Anderson. Researchers are calling it one of the most promising advances in pancreatic cancer treatment in years. The drug called Daraxonrasib is helping some patients with advanced pancreatic cancer live about 13 months on average, compared to roughly 6.5 months with chemotherapy alone. And for families facing this disease, those extra months can mean everything.
It's crazy because the one thing Mickey said to me that really kind of shook me a little bit was he said, I thought I had a little more time. And that was hard to hear.
Yeah, here in the Carolinas, former Panthers head coach Ron Rivera knows firsthand how devastating pancreatic cancer can be. He lost his brother Mickey to the disease in 2015. Like most patients with pancreatic cancer, Mickey's was diagnosed in its advanced stages. He fought for close to 2 years before his body just couldn't fight anymore. Now, part of the challenge is that pancreatic cancer is often discovered after it has already spread, limiting treatment options, making it one of the nation's leading causes of cancer deaths. And when it comes to surviving a diagnosis like this, the numbers really are sobering. According to the National Cancer Institute, the 5-year survival rate is just 13.7%. More than 67,000 Americans expected to be diagnosed this year, and more than 52,000 are expected to die from the disease. But Daraxonrasib could slow those numbers down. The drug targets a mutation known as KRAS, which helps fuel the growth of many pancreatic cancers. Doctors say the treatment essentially switches off one of the key signals cancer cells use to grow and spread.
This is a targeted therapy that is taking advantage of the biology of pancreatic cancer. The cancer has these little genetic mutations. They're like little light switches. They're turned on, and the cancer is growing, it's spreading. And this drug, it turns off the lights, shrinking the cancer, helping the patients live better and longer.
In a clinical trial involving roughly 500 patients with advanced pancreatic cancer, the treatment reduced the overall risk of death by 60% compared to chemotherapy alone. It's also taken as a daily pill, with many patients reporting fewer side effects than traditional chemotherapy. One of those patients is former Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse, who has described the treatment as life-changing after seeing his tumor shrink dramatically.
My tumors this week are down 76% from December 29th. And I'd say my pain is, 80% reduced from where I started.
Researchers say the findings could eventually help lead to similar treatments for other hard-to-treat cancers, including some forms of lung cancer.
Yeah, for families battling pancreatic cancer today, the promise of more time may be one of the most meaningful breakthroughs yet. Certainly very exciting news,
Yeah,
right?
very.
Absolutely. Hopefully it all continues.